Now we're going to move on to Tuesday,
January the 5th, 2021. So this problem says, what is another way to write 46 and 32/100 divided by 10 to the fourth power? Well, we're going to want to think about Mr. Dole here. And why did I immediately know Mr. Dole could come into play? Because I see a power of 10. Remember, powers of 10 are anything. It could be like 10 itself, 10 or 100 or 1,000. So these are all powers of 10 because they have a 1 with zeros. Other power, I could keep going, 10,000, 100,000. I can also have a power of 10 with using the exponent because 10 to the fourth power is the same thing as 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which again would be 1 with how many zeros? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10 to the fourth power is the same thing as 10,000. So anyway, what we're going to do here is we're going to look at Mr. Dole. When we see Mr. Dole, if we were multiplying, we'd be moving the decimal to the right, but we're dividing, so we're moving it to the left. So we're going to go ahead and start with our decimal number, and we're going to divide it 4 jumps, or move it 4 to the left. So a jump is in between numbers. I've just moved it 1, continue going left, that's 2. But we have to jump a third and then a fourth. And we're going to put a decimal point at the end, and then we're going to fill in those places with zeros. So our final answer for that problem, you always want to clean it up, is 4,632, but now you have to name what place. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths, and then we go to millionths. 10 tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. We'll try that again. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. Oh, then that's millionths. So if I had to write this number in a fraction just for kicks, it will be 4,632 over 1 million. Remember, because that's a fraction will never be a whole. You only have to know up to the fourth spot, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. All right, moving on to the next one. What are we going to do here also? We're going to divide. We're going to move it this time. How many jumps? 5 jumps to the what? Dole, divide left. I just jumped 1. I can jump 2, 3, 4, and 5. And X is 0, 0, 0, 0, decimal point. That's a crazy mess, isn't it? So my answer is going to be decimal point. I'm just going to put a line here. Decimal point 0, 0, 0, 0, 4 zeros and a 5/8. But when you're showing your proof, you always need to put this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that was also, so that'd be 58 millionths. All right, we're going to look at this next one. We were dividing fractions, or dividing whole numbers by fractions. So what we're going to do, our first step is we're going to turn this into 10 over 1. We're going to keep the first fraction at a half. We're going to change the sign to multiplying, and we're going to flip the last fraction. Instead of it 10 over 1, it's going to be 1 over 10. And then we're going to multiply across. So that makes 1/20th. Because you found out what a half of 10 was, it's 1/20th. Okay, now let's look at this one. 15 divided by 4. 15, what does that mean? It means a fraction bar. So 15 divided by 4. And then we could simplify by dividing 4 into 15, because 15 drops in the house. It will go 3 times with how many left over? So it's 3 3/4 for this answer. So 3 3/4 is the answer of this improper fraction. All right, let's look at this other one. What do you know here? If you have a whole number and a fraction, you're going to turn this first step. There's your fraction. whole numbers into a fraction. You keep the first one. You change the sign. You flip the last fraction. And I'd have to do my 18 times 8 down below. That's 144 over 1, which is equals the same thing as what? 144. So in other words, what you did is you said how many 1/8 are there in 18. Okay. Now this next one says, what is this value of this number? So what we're going to do for this one, I'm just going to bring double O so I have somewhere to work. I'm going to change ink colors. So we have to first start, that was a 5 decimal point 25 times 17. Wow, yuck. That's a lot of math, but okay, here we go now. We'll remember to put 2 decimal places after we've multiplied this. So now we just carry out our normal multiplication. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17. Regroup. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 1 is 36. Don't forget your placeholder. 1 times 5, 1 times 2, 1 times 5. 12, regroup, 9, 8. Now show 2 decimal places in this answer, starting at the back, 1, 2. So now we're going to take 89 and 25 hundredths times what? 2, 2, 2. Oh, fun. Oh, fun. All right, here we go. But we've got this. So in the end, we have to show 2 decimal places. In the end, we have to show what? 2 decimal places. All right, so you ignore the decimal until the end now. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17. Don't forget your placeholder, okay? Guess what? Every time now, it's going to be the same. So we can go ahead and just remember the math is going to be the same because we're multiplying it times 2. 2 times 5 again is 10. 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5. 2 times 9 is 18. Regroup with that 1. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17. Next time, we're moving right underneath this one. Okay, right here, so we have to put 2 zeros. 2 times 5 is 10. Regroup with my 1. 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5. 2 times 9 is 18. Regroup. 2 times 8 plus 1 is 17. And then we're going to add. And go 1. 8 and 8 is 16 plus 5 is 21. That's 3 plus 7 is 10. Plus 8 is 18. 2 plus 7 is 9. And then there's 1. And we have to show 2 decimal places when we finish. So we come from the back and we count in 1, 2. All right, so there's my final answer. 19,813 and 50 hundredths.
Wow. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. But that one had to be done. So now we're going to move on to the next problem, which is Jamil made 10 telephone calls on Monday. He made 3 phone calls before lunch. Write a fraction in decimal representing the amount of calls that he made before lunch. Well, let's write a fraction. 3 out of how many? 10. What is the decimal that goes with it? No whole numbers, but the 3 must be in the what spot? In the 10th spot. There it is. 3/10. All right. Write an equation which represents the relationship between x and y. The relationship between x and y. What do you do to x to get y? It looks like you're adding 3. Yep, every time. So what would be the relationship, all right, to get y? Y equals x plus 3. Yep, or x plus 3 equals y. X plus 3, x plus 3, x, which is 8, plus 3 is 11. Very good, that works. Algebra.